Now that I'm not an OM System ambassador anymore, it's time to talk about the future of this channel. Hi, it's Peter here, and let's get right into the business. Most likely the biggest difference will be that I'm not going to get the newest gear that OM System or OMDS will launch. At least not before the launch. Maybe I will get them after the launch, and I will make videos of those if I get them. But that's something that I cannot promise. In the past I have had 5 different types of content. Gear reviews, tips and tricks, industry news, software reviews, and tutorials and videos about photography. All that will remain, but the focus will be more general photography. So when I cover those, I will have it more from a photographic perspective. The way I use it, the way I gain from different softwares, different gear. What are the reasons that I would use a certain feature, a certain camera? Because that's a more informative way than just to, tell you about the features and that's it, which I've done some of that type of videos in the past. Specs can be checked from online anywhere, but the user cases and why things are used is not that common. And of course, 52 assignment videos will be in a big part. I will have once a month about the upcoming themes and assignments so that you have some kind of an idea what I did mean when I made those assignments and themes. What are my thoughts and what to look for, and give some inspiration. It's not videos to tell you what to shoot and how to shoot. It's more about inspiration and give you some ideas and something to look for. But they can also be a guidance how and why to shoot a certain way if you want to learn more. Because you can kind of have a different approach to 52 assignments. It can be a creative boost. It can be a learning. If you're just starting out photography, it can be something to learn about, something to get you going, or it can be just an inspiration to do your own thing in a new way. But the whole point is to make you to become a better photographer. And also feedback is a big part of that. And I will have the, the feedback live streams once a month. And the next one will be at the end of this month or at the beginning of May. It depends about my schedule, most likely in the beginning of May. So be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you won't miss those videos. It's even though I say it myself, I think it's a great way to learn is to take part in the 52 assignments. That gives you something to photograph every week and every month. And the best images also get some feedback. And if you want to get more feedback, I also offer one-on-one sessions, which you can check out from the link down below. So if you're interested in getting better, check out that link and see what I have to offer for you. It's a personal time with me on Zoom. About an hour, we can go through your photography and Q&A and giving feedback to your images and guide your path as a photographer going forward. And then software reviews. Image editing is a big part of photography today. Every image needs to be edited somehow. Some more and some less. But anyways, you need to understand how to edit and why we edit. And those image editing software reviews and tips and tricks are for that. It's also one part of becoming a better photographer, to become a better editor in your images. I might not do full tutorials how to use a software, but more like why to use it and what to use for certain images, because just introducing the tools doesn't really tell that much, but introducing a tool and why and how to use it is, in my opinion, a lot more better approach to image editing. About the camera reviews, I will be making camera reviews. If I get a hold of cameras, of course I will test them. And also I will talk about OM1 and OM5, because even though I'm not an ambassador anymore, I will be still using OM1 and OM5 as my main cameras for my photography. But I will search for a new camera for video work, and I will talk about that in the future videos. And on that too, I will go like the approach is why I would want certain features and weigh different things in a slightly new way when I do those reviews and look for that new camera. And if you have any ideas what type of video camera or hybrid camera I should get, please let me know in the comments down below if you have any experience with different cameras. And if I'm going to get a hybrid camera, of course I will review the photographic side of that too, and I will test how it is with photography, because hybrid cameras are very cost effective nowadays. You don't need two different cameras, expensive cameras, to do two videos and photography. You can do them with the same camera. There are lots of cameras that are good and excellent in both worlds, and that's what I'm trying to look into in my upcoming gear reviews. But of course I will have some gear reviews about mobile photography. I just have some interesting new things for mobile photography, and when it's released I will make a video about it. It's an interesting thing. Not something revolutionary brand new, but an interesting thing. And then about the gear reviews, I always had Amazon links in them, but I will stop doing that until we know what happens to DP review content. If they gonna wipe out totally and delete everything, if Amazon's gonna do that, I'm not gonna add Amazon links to my videos anymore, ever. And I will also remove those links from older videos. But that of course will take some time, but I will do it if Amazon really is going to delete everything. I understand the business side of that, but deleting the whole thing is not the thing they should do. They should somehow preserve it, because it is part of history. Digital photography history, that is. So I will have some other links if you want to get, and B&H is something, and there might be some other big retailers in Europe that I will probably use for that. I will look into that one after we've cleared and see what Amazon actually does. But let's continue with the topic of this video, and photocentric content is going to be the key in 2023. I will be making more photographic tutorials, my thinking behind the images. I might even go to my archives and talk about my old images and what did I think back then and what have I learned since that, because going back to your own images sometimes is good, because then you can know the progress. If you find out that your images were better 10 years ago than they are now, that's also something interesting to learn, because then you have the possibility to think why it was like that. And I'm going to look into that too. And then of course photo walks is something that I should do more. I've been sitting here in my studio too much. One reason is that the winter's been horrible this year. We've had like 8 times really big snowstorms, and then after a couple of days everything is slush and dark and gray, and for me that's not really very inspiring. So one thing that I miss is my travels that I used to do quite a bit before the COVID, and after COVID I haven't really done any trips, only few trips, and the trip last year in October to Lisbon was a really big boost of my energy and my way of shooting, and the inspiration was so huge that and luckily I have a few trips planned for spring, and more about those and the things that I'm going to photograph there later in this channel. So remember that subscription button. It's not about a button below and right there. And then a question for you: what would be the content that you would like to see on my channel? Just give me some suggestions. It'd be interesting to hear everything I've said in this video in a very short sentence. More photocentric videos in 2023. And if you don't know why I did not sign a new contract, check out that video. I explain everything in that video. But hey, thanks for watching, and bye for now.